Hello everyone, today we are going to study about the Europeans in India. The Portuguese. Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut in 1498. In his wake came the Portuguese to trade with India. The Portuguese soon had a monopoly of the highly profitable eastern trade for nearly a century. Under the viceroyalty of Captain General Alfonso de Albuquerque, a series of forts were established so as to dominate the East Indies and the Arabian Sea. The object of the former measure was to control the spice trade at its principal sources from Java to the Molucca Islands and of the latter to cut off the Arab managed spice trade from the South India to Egypt and the Persian Gulf. The system worked with remarkable success for about a century and then broke down because of the challenges from the other European parts. The Dutch Holland sent the first fleet to the east in 1595. They went straight to the source of the spice trade in the East Indies, established themselves at Jakarta, and proceeded to turn out the Portuguese. In 1602, the Dutch East India Company was formed, and the Dutch Parliament gave it a charter empowering it to make war, conclude treaties, etc. They then proceeded to develop a great Asian network by establishing a chain of coast through Ceylon and Cape Town to connect themselves with their home base. India came with their purview only as a link in this commercial chain. It was a source of textiles for sale in the East Indies. In exchange for spices with the extreme south and Ceylon were valuable for their own supplies of pepper, cardamom, and cinnamon. They established their earliest factory at Pulikan, followed by others at Cochin and Nagpattam. The English East India Company to trade with the East was formed in 1600. Queen Elizabeth (1588 to 1603) was one of the shareholders of the company. The Dutch were well entrenched in the Southeast Asia, so the English turned to India, particularly for its textile and spice trade. The English set up a factory at Surat in 1608 and sent Captain Hawkins to Jahangir's court to obtain royal favours. In 1615, Sir Thomas Roe was successful in getting an imperial firman to trade and establish factories in all parts of the Mughal Empire, but they could do nothing so long as the Portuguese controlled the sea. The main trading settlements of the Portuguese were at Cochin, Goa, Daman and Diu in 1612-14 at Swali of Surat. The English defeated the Portuguese and then at Ormuz in the Persian Gulf in 1614. The Portuguese clashed with the Mughal power in Bengal in 1631 and were driven out of the settlement at Hooghly. The Dutch were forced out of their last possession in India by the British. By 1695, the English had given up all the claims to Indonesia. By 1667, to the Dutch. And from the time the English company steadily developed its activities, Surat was a center of trade till 1687, but by 1623, it had established factories at Bharuch, Ahmedabad, Agra, and Muslipatam. 1611, they soon shifted the center of their activity to Madras. Its lease had been given to them by the local Raja in 1639. Here they built their factory called Fort St. George. The island of Bombay was acquired by the British from the Portuguese as a part of the dowry to King Charles II for marrying a Portuguese princess in 1688 and was soon fortified. In eastern India, the English opened their first factory in Orissa in 1633. In 1651, it was given permission to trade from Hooghly and in Bengal. They opened factories at Patna, Balsor, Decca, and other places in Bengal and Bihar. But soon hostilities broke out between the English and the Mughal emperor in 1686 after the former had sacked Hooghly, declared war on the emperor. The war ended disastrously for them, and the English once again lapsed into the role of humble petitioner and sought pardon. A pattern of trade developed from Gujarat in the west, and the main articles were cotton piece goods, cotton yarn and indigo from the Malabar coast, pepper, and such other spices as could be brought second hand from Ceylon and the East Indies. From Madras and the southeast coast, again piece goods, yarn, and sugar. And from Bengal, silk and saltpetre. The opium trade was to come later. In return, India brought metals such as tin, lead, and quicksilver. Novelty, especially mechanical ones, tapestries, and ivory. The balance of payment was always in favor of India and had to be met with silver bullion by the company. The English had to face further competition in 1664. The French had also formed a company to trade with India. They established themselves at Pondicherry. The French company was closely tied to the state, so much so that its fortunes rose and fell with the careers of ministers. It was only in the beginning of the 18th century that its fortune began to soar, leading to fierce competition between the French and the English traders.